This is a quick look at the HX Outdoor ZD009B, I believe it was called. Let me just double check. Yeah, that is ZD009B. This is a model written right there. And this was purchased from GearBest. And I would consider this a small keychain EDC. It's very tiny, but still very useful. I'll show it in comparison to some other knives in a bit. It has a carbon fiber scale on one side, which you can see reflecting off in the light there, and anodized decorative piece around the pivot. It's still adjustable with a mini Torx screw in the middle there. On the other side is a stainless steel frame, which is kind of a black stonewash. It has this decoration kind of design on the pocket clip, which I actually don't like. It makes it look cheap. That's just my opinion. It has the spades, the heart, the club, and the diamonds. After all, this knife is also called, I believe, Joker or Poker or whatever, so I guess that's the theme. I'd prefer if it didn't have that, but it is what it is. Pocket clip is only good for tip down, and it's only for righties. There is a carabiner on the rear here, which will allow you to clip onto your belt loop if you so choose. And the blade is an AUS 8, which is different for a Chinese knife. Usually they're the 8CR13 or 12C27 Sandvik. AUS 8 is great. I don't mind it. I find it's better than 8CR13 just by a bit. And yeah, so far so good. I have actually two of these. One is going on my keychain, and I'm going to swap it out with the current one I have, which is the Gonzo. I can't remember the model name offhand now. It's the one that is a Delica clone. Anyways, so it has a drop point blade and a very large hole here for deploying it, which actually doesn't really help deploying it that much. It's kind of like the bird hole on the Spyderco line. It's big, but it's not as good as just a Spidey hole. If you look there, and partially the reason for this is inside the hole there, all the edges are chamfered, so it doesn't come to a more abrupt, sharp edge. Not sharp that's uncomfortable, but just a better edge to grip your finger with. This one, it's chamfered. It's kind of hard to show you here, but I'll try my best. You can see it sort of right there, all around the edge of the blade, with the exception of the part close to here, the upper portion that is chamfered. There's a flat here, then there's a diagonal chamfering here, and then a flat inside. Anyways, it makes it a little difficult to deploy. So when you're putting your, sorry about the lighting, it's dawn here and lighting is making it a little hard. Anyways, so when you're putting your finger in here to deploy the blade, sometimes my finger will slip, but most of the time, if I do it slowly, it'll catch enough and I'll be able to open it. So that's blade. There is a minor finger choil here. While I can use it as a finger choil to choke up for more control, it's not a full finger choil. So if you're holding it to get more control and grip and you're not paying attention, your finger may slip forward. Even just showing you right now, part of my finger is on the base of the edge there, so you have to be aware of that and use it at your own risk. For small tasks it's probably okay, and since this is a small keychain EDC, I don't see it being very problematic since I won't be doing a lot of heavy duty tasks with it, so should be okay. So talk about the ergos. It's small but pretty comfortable. I have small hands and I can get almost a full grip if I put my finger up in the finger trail there. If I put my hands on the handle down here, I only get about a 3-finger grip. Speaking of ergos, there is jimping on the spine and it's very functional. So if I put my thumb in there, it really locks in place and feels comfortable down like that, or with finger up top in the finger trail. It has a satin finish on the polished side of the edge, a flat ground satin finish, and at the top here, it's kind of hard to tell with the lighting at the moment, but it is a black stonewash right at the top here, similar to the black stonewash on the handle. Lockup is good. It's a frame lock, if I haven't mentioned already. It's a nested frame lock, I guess you can call it. Right there. And just to disengage it, you would push right there. It's not the entire bottom section of the frame, which most are. On the smaller frame lock knives, I notice it's a cutout in the middle of the frame. Lockup is decent. There's no blade play, up, down, side to side. And though you can't see it, it's about 60% on mine, I would say. Disengaging it's pretty easy. Lock is not sticky. And the blade retention, since this is a keychain knife, so it's very important. Very decent. I haven't had problems with it opening while being carried on my keys, and I usually carry my keys on my belt loop, so it does dangle a lot. Very decent deployment, or sorry, not deployment, blade retention, and that's thanks to the ball bearing in the frame lock there. And so that brings me to the washers. You cannot see it here, but they are not phosphor bronze and they are not ball bearings. The washers are of the white plastic type, which is not preferred, but it's okay since this is a small keychain EDC. Deployment speed is pretty slow, like I was saying, because of the chamfering and the inside of that hole, but it's not a problem. And overall, I would recommend this knife. It's pretty good. I would give it likely a 8 out of 10. For all the specs on the weight and the dimensions, look in the description box. And now I will bring you something that's comparable, just to compare. Something also I would consider a small keychain EDC, although it's still bigger than this, is the Sanrenmu knife here. The model is 7033 LUC-SCX, and this one is also a frame lock, and it's a lot heavier and bigger and more capable. So You can see the two side by side right there. This one is at least half the weight of this, but at the same time, this one has better ergonomics and the blade is a tiny bit bigger, which you can see right there. And another thing I like about this is the flipper deployment is much quicker on this than this one. That is it. Again, this is the HX Outdoor ZD009B, purchased from GearBest. Thanks for watching.